Hello, and welcome to Compare It, a show where I take two games of the same genre and compare them to see which one did it better. This episode will be the Harvest Moon series versus Stardew Valley. Now, in this video, I'm primarily going to be referring to Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, as it is the game I've spent the most time on in the Harvest Moon series. However, with that said, I will try my best to talk about the aspects of the other Harvest Moon games as well. Alright, so where should I begin? Well, let's start with the genre. Both Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley fall under the category of a farming life simulator game. Well, what exactly does that mean? For starters, the common themes and goals of both games is that you inherit a farm, then spend your time taking care of the farm by planting crops, raising animals, and constantly expanding your farm. You also do other activities around the town you live in, from fishing to mining to talking to the townspeople and having your relationship with them grow. Another big aspect of these games is their marriage system, which is personally one of my favorite parts about these games, but I'll go over it more later on. So now that you guys know the basic gist of what these games have to offer, let's take a look at them piece by piece to find out which one follows these tropes and truly is the best games of this genre to play. I feel it needs to be said that Harvest Moon for the Super Nintendo did indeed create this farming genre of games, and you could say that Stardew loses some points for ripping off all the ideas that Harvest Moon originally put into place. However, I feel that Stardew had a lot to offer this genre, and it only used the formula as a loose guide and inspiration, and it completely upgraded the way farming simulators like this should be handled. For example, let's talk about Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. I personally think it's a great game and really captures a feeling of relaxation in the player. However, when you compare it to Stardew Valley, it starts to seem a little bland, repetitive, and constricting. In Harvest Moon, you don't have a lot of freedom at the start of the game. You have to wait for certain days to be able to do certain things, whereas in Stardew, you literally can start doing almost anything from the beginning. All of your tools are given to you at the start, and you get a big old town to explore. Speaking of which, let's talk about the world of these games. In A Wonderful Life, you get to live in a small town called Forget-Me-Not Valley, with a few random buildings, a dig site, another farm where you can buy seeds, an inn, a bar, and a few interesting villager homes. But other than that, there isn't much to Forget-Me-Not Valley. There isn't even a shop, which is one of my pet peeves with this game. To buy some pretty important items, such as the fishing rod, you have to wait for a specific day that only occurs twice a season for a guy named Van to show up to your town, and only then can you buy stuff from him. Where in Stardew Valley, you just walk over a couple screens and enter the shop after 8 AM as long as it's not a Wednesday and you're good. As you can see, the world in Harvest Moon is usually pretty small, but in Stardew, the town is huge and filled with personality. You can go into town and chat with all the unique people, go to the mines and explore the never-ending caves. You can go foraging in the forest. They even made fishing an enjoyable minigame. There is just so much more to do in Stardew as far as the world is concerned. But enough about that, let's talk about the marriage system for these games. In Harvest Moon, you typically get a decent amount of bachelorettes to choose from, and I will note that there is a significant lack of bachelorettes in Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. In this game, you only get to choose from 3 female choices, and that's it. Pretty small, but at least they all have a pretty unique and interesting personalities. Now, how do you marry these girls, you may be asking? Well, in Wonderful Life, it's actually pretty simple. Just by talking to the girl you're interested in and giving her gifts that she enjoys, you fill up your relationship meter with her, which is indicated by the number of hearts each girl has in their respective diaries. Which these diaries can be found in different places depending on the girl. Muffy's is in the bouquet at the bar, Cecilia's is on her bed, and Nami's is in her room at the inn, which is the hardest one to access. But anyway, after you reach 10 hearts with the girl of your dreams, the Harvest Sprites give you a blue feather that you can use as a proposal. And after you get married, the girl you choose moves in with you and you have a kid, which for me is when Harvest Moon falls a little short and becomes stale. I mean, I like the second year of the game, but every time I play this game and get the girl, I feel my main goal has been achieved, and I just stop playing. Also, I feel it's a bit restricting that you have to get married before your second year starts, or else you lose the game, but I digress. Overall, this is a huge contrast to how I feel about the marriage system in Stardew. In Stardew, you have a larger amount of candidates to choose from to become your significant other. In this game, you have the option to marry one of 10 people, and the best part is that it isn't gender locked, as in you can play as a guy and marry a guy, which is so thoughtful and amazing, something that Harvest Moon has never done and will probably never do, aside from that dumb best friendship thing they did that one time. So how do you woo the girl or guy of your dreams in Stardew? Well, it's the same deal. You have to talk to them and give them a gift. However, in this game, you're limited to only 2 gifts a week, which I feel is a great way of pacing out the relationship aspect of the game, which spans beyond just marriage candidates. You also get 2 dialogue boxes a day for each character, which I think is brilliant design because now you don't have to worry about the immersion of the game being broken, like in Harvest Moon 64, when characters would just repeat the same single line of dialogue every time you wanted to talk to them. Now, to marry the one you've grown a relationship with, you must first give them a bouquet, which you receive at Pierre's General Store after attaining an 8-heart relationship with that person. This signifies that you're dating, which is a super interesting touch that Harvest Moon never touches on, as in those games you just go straight to marriage. After giving the bouquet out, you are able to access the 2 final hearts of the relationship meter for the person you've chosen. After you've filled up all 10 hearts, you have to go get the mermaid's pendant from the guy east of Elliot's cabin. Then you can propose, and the rest is history. Marriage in this game is just so much better because you can have multiple kids, and due to Stardew's amazing friendship system with the rest of the villagers, you never lose that sense of purpose that I adore so much in the first year of Harvest Moon games. There is just so much more to do in Stardew Valley, and Harvest Moon has sort of faded away nowadays. I mean, look at the horrible game they have on the Nintendo Switch. Oh god, it's too bad. Take it away! Take it away! This is why I'm so happy the indie scene has grown so rapidly in the last couple of years, because now we're blessed with games like Stardew Valley, which was made in only 4 years by one guy, which is insane. He originally got his idea for Stardew out of his love for Harvest Moon games and Animal Crossing, and felt that he could fix a lot of the issues he found with those games, and I think he succeeded. So only you can decide which is better for yourself. However, in my personal opinion, the winner of this episode of Compare It is Stardew Valley. Tell me what you guys think is the best between the two, and which Harvest Moon games did I skip out on and should give a shot. That's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.